there is some severe right-wing infighting taking place right now, and that is, of course, happening with Ben Shapiro. Despite the fact that he is deeply unpopular, he's decided to put his name out there once again, in spite of his career falling apart because everyone hates Israel now, at least on the internet. I think he did this like long video about Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, Heritage Foundation. 41 minutes. Tucker Carlson sabotages America. 800,000.
Ben, that's the length of an SVU episode. What do you
debate him? We're all noticing now. Top comment, just debate him. He'd gladly do it. Nick is going to go nuclear on Ben tonight. Ugh, I hate I hate Ben Shapiro. But I also hate this, we're noticing. Like, what are you noticing? What are you noticing? Like, just, I don't know. I would rather them be, like, openly anti-Semitic than be like, I'm beginning to notice this. Oh, wow, really? The Israeli lobby is quite powerful. Huh? Incredible.
I have heard that this is a real clunker, this video. As in, he went out there, he swung, and he did not come close.
Ratioed hard in the comments. Right-wing pod wars are about to be wild this week. This will be Ben Shapiro's most watched video this year. Americanism, not globalism. Went straight to the comments law. In my opinion, you and Nick should do a live podcast together. Oh my God.
That's me. I'm the guy who's fans of both.
Yeah.
I love you both.
Yeah, why don't you guys get along?
I hate it when you
I mean, listen. For me, like, this is the environment that he literally created. Mark Levin too. Like, conservative Jews have played such a major role in the development of some of these, like, pivotal anti-Semites now.
A lot of, like...
Nick Fuentes said Mark Levin is the reason why he was like, oh my God, the great replacement is happening.
Think about, like, all the people who were, like, really big on the Ground Zero Mosque, like Pam Geller, Daniel Pipes, all these people, like, Horowitz... all these people who ran the gamut from, like, former white Black Panthers, like Horowitz was, to, like, so just lifelong, like, crank Zionists, more in the line of Geller. These sort of outmoded global war on terror era neocon, some to the right of neocon, like Zionist Jewish conservatives, they went super hard on Islam. In the middling years of the global war on terror, and it is impossible to, like, not draw the through line here. It's okay. You help push the toothpaste out of the tube. If it's okay to like start a national campaign about, like, the Ground Zero Mosque, where do you think that fucking ends?
Yeah, but also, like, the whole, even with the great replacement stuff, like, who do you think those guys are going to blame for the great replacement? They're not going to invent a new... They're not going to be like, oh, the Muslims are doing the great replacement. They're going to say the Jews are doing it, dumbass. Like,
I thought that was so funny when, like, Elon was talking about that, and then, like, my two favorite experts on Judaism, the Sequoia Capital and the Palantir guy, who both have names of Watergate co-conspirators. Sean McGuire and John Lonsdale, who are somehow, some way with those names, they're Jewish. I don't know how, but they were like, we agree. And it's like, yeah, I'm sure good save.
Yeah.
He's going to stop there.
Any comment from ADL regarding Vance urging conservatives to work together with the Groypers? I think it's idiotic to overreact to a couple of elections in the blue states, but a few thoughts. Scott Pressler, TPO, saying a bunch of others have been working hard to register voters. I said it in 2022, and I've said it repeatedly since. Our coalition is lower propensity, and that means we have to do better at turning out voters than we have in the past. 2, we need to focus on the home front. The president has done a lot of that, has already paid off in the lower interest rates and lower inflation. Oh, yeah, he's doing great.
Yep.
He's doing great on the economy. Everyone, dude, this is literally this is vibeflation.
Yeah.
But instead, they're doing it now.
No, they got the curse of Brandon.
Yeah.
They're going to post, like, if your Thanksgiving is 11 cents cheaper this year, it's because of us.
Yeah. Yeah, no, literally. Like, what the this is the one thing that you can't actually, like, convince people on. And you clearly can't even, like, shift their attention and their priority away from the actual economic struggles that they're experiencing long enough for them to forget, you know, all the deportations and whatnot, which ironically also is contributing to prices going up. as well. But we inherited a disaster from Joe Biden, and Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay.
All right.
We're going to keep on working to make a decent life affordable in this country, and that's the metric by which we'll ultimately be judged in 2026 and beyond. 3, the infighting is stupid. I care about my fellow citizens, particularly young Americans, being able to afford a decent life. I care about immigration and our sovereignty, and I care about establishing peace overseas so our resources can be focused at home. If you care about those things too, let's work together. Oh my God.
It's also so weird because it's like, this is the one prominent Republican who isn't like facing facts and going, okay, we got washed.
Yeah.
Everyone else seemed to be pretty well and able to do that.
Hey, Trump is being like, yeah, it was a bad night.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
I mean, that's the thing about a new convert, though, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God. But this
That's very optimistic, though. That's the thing we'll be judged on in the next election. Good luck. Good luck.
News inside the room per multiple GOP senators after reports were kicked out. Trump said the election results show that the shutdown has been worse for us than for them, and that ours are getting killed. Trump said the GOP will become a dead party if they don't nuke the filibuster. Trump got into it. Wait, instead of dealing with the Democrats, Trump is just like, you have to nuke the filibuster. That's awesome. He's just like, nope, you just have to nuke the filibuster. Remember, I told you that if the filibuster was going to get nuked, it would be the Republicans that need to do it, and they would do it. And I feel like that's where we're going in the direction of. Trump said the GOP will become a dead party if they don't nuke the filibuster. Trump got into it with Lindsey Graham after Graham tried to make the point that they can still use reconciliation to pass legislation with a simple majority. Trump snapped at Graham. Lindsey, you and I both know that there's so much you can't do with reconciliation.
You think he does it?
What, nuke the filibuster?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he has that level of motion. This is, I feel like, one of the things that Republicans do care about. I think there's a lot of discontent within even the Republican Congress people about like what Trump is doing with the congressional powers as far as like allocating resources. Like, I don't even think they like that Trump is taking that away from them. So I have this suspicion that there are congressional Republicans right now that are secretly hoping that Trump will concede to the Democrats, at least on some stuff, and like give assurances that he won't veto expenditures at the executive level.
Yeah, and you got to figure they're like getting annihilated anytime they go back to their district too.
Yeah,
like there have been brutal town halls for like Republicans in pretty solidly red districts, even before shit kind of hit the spanner with tariffs and everything. And this is, I mean, what do you think is going to happen if this goes on 3 or 4 more weeks and you're just, people for the most part just like aren't able to fly during Thanksgiving?
I think it would be the funniest outcome if they do nuke the filibuster, get across like some more heinous agenda items, and then the Democrats run on restoring the filibuster. The Democrats are like, it's time to go back to moderation. The Senate is the greatest deliberative body.
That would be, nothing would make Chuck Schumer happier if he got to do that.
Yeah, they're gonna run on restoring the filibuster.
If
not court packing. We will not expand the Supreme Court seats. Like, we're not.
He expands the Supreme Court, and their thing is like splitting the court.
Yeah,
having even fewer people on
it.
Yeah. No. That would probably make his day, Schumer, though.
Yeah.
He would do something like, he would be like, we're gonna start a Lollapalooza for the filibuster.
Oh, God.
Who is that guy who played guitar at the 2020 DNC while Billy Porter trolled around?
Anthony Blinken.
It's not Anthony Blinken.
Oh yeah, he played the bass. You're right.
It was some 60s guy.
I don't know.
Who the was that? Does anyone in chat remember that? It was the Democratic COVID convention was so good.
Steven Still.
Okay, yeah, from Crosby, Still and Nash.
Okay.
Yeah. Steven Still played, that 60s song like, hey, stop, what's that sound?
Uh-huh.
And Billy Porter was just like twirling endlessly. And it worked.
Wait. POTUS is 100% correct. It's time for Republicans to do what they have to do to terminate the filibuster. He really wants it gone.
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest, that's the only way it's happening. Because there's 0% chance that Democrats, if they were to have like a simple majority and would greatly benefit, because like directionally speaking, the filibuster is more often utilized by the party that has no interest in letting the government do its job.
Yeah.
And that party is the Republican Party, as opposed to the Democrats. Let's say if they were a competent, actual left flank party in this country, they would need to nuke the filibuster to be able to get across these big ticket agenda items. Because directionally speaking, Democrats are always trying to build more government, technically, and the Republicans are trying to destroy it or remove powers from Congress. So this would be truly beneficial for the Democrats. And I don't think there's any other opportunity to nuke the filibuster, because I don't think the Democrats would ever do it.
Yeah. I don't know. It does. This is the type of, whenever he's in a downswing, that is usually when he starts like second guessing the shit out of himself and like backing down on stuff. If he backs down on anything right now, I hope it's that we don't go to war with Venezuela. But this is the type of thing that he picks up once and drops, never picks up again.
Hopefully it's the war in Venezuela that is the thing that he picks up once and drops. But it doesn't seem like it.
No, it doesn't.
Especially because like when the admiral that is supposed to be the head of like Latin American Command left after like 37 years of service, I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was a sign.
That's not a good sign. Like
every time that you've seen a military officer leave a position, that's what preceded GHF in Gaza.
Yeah.
High profile retirements.
Yeah.
It's a sign that like guys who were like key components of the Iraq war are like, okay, you're about to do something too up for me.
Yeah. And it's not good. Wait, Trump calls out JD Vance? Maybe you were right. He's blowing up on JD Vance. Oh, no, this was just a meme. He was just saying, I want my cabinet to behave like Xi Jinping's staff.
Put a 100% tariff on China. As soon as I heard it, within 20 minutes, I put a 100% tariff on China. On President Xi, who's really a friend of mine.
I love this when people go ask a Venezuelan, Maduro sucks. No, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, no, your people. Yeah. No, your people deserve to be nuked. Right. You're right. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for the wonderful. We want to crater Caracas. We want it to look exactly like Iraq because they loved it. Okay. How about you ask someone from Iraq? Okay, someone from Iraq. Ask them. Is this a good idea?
Okay.
What it looks like right now.
I'm against anything where a country has the Su-30, one of the only thrust vectoring jets in production. It can do tons of cool tricks, even if you didn't get thrust vectoring. There are some variants without it. If regime change happens, they're just going to go back to buying F-16s. Those are boring.
That's what
it's a good plane, but they're fucking boring.
That's the only reason why he doesn't want regime change in Venezuela. I don't want regime change in Venezuela because Maduro is spiritually Turkish and he's very well connected with Erdogan.
He does.
They hang out all the time. They give like swords to one another. They do like exchanges.
He does. He has a very Turkish look.
He does. He looks so Turkish. It's crazy. He does, with a mustache and everything. That's why I'm like, no, you have to stay in power.
Do you remember when like they were like gearing up to do this during Trump 1 and Mnuchin stopped it?
Yeah. And then, well, yeah, because he was like the only competent person that was like, nah.
Dude, I miss Mnuchin.
Yeah.
He really, like, every time that it's during Trump 1, and there was like terrible shit that happened during Trump 1, don't get me wrong, but every time it looked like it was going to be like this now, Mnuchin would step in and be like, as the producer of the Suicide Squad, I cannot let this happen. He's like, he saved America.
He had the pedigree. They really did. They respected all the Hollywood movies he funded.
Do you remember when there's that picture of him and Louise Linton, his wife, holding up the money?
Yes. I have talked about that photo. It lives in my mind. I think she looks so hot in that.
She looks super hot.
Like, there's something very evil about the aura coming out of that photo where I think it's like...
She looks super hot, and Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses commented under it and was like, "You're a piece of shit." And Mnuchin from like the Treasury account was like, "Oh yeah, what are you doing for this country?" And now
I don't see you printing mint.
Yeah, I mean, now it's like after I found out that Mnuchin probably saved every person on Earth. Honestly, put him right next to that Soviet radar operator. They're the same person.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the photo chat here. You know what I mean though. Like this is she there
looks
is
fucking good there.
She looks great and it's like in an evil way. I don't know. Someone in the chat said, as an Iraqi, I don't suggest it, chat, or to the Venezuelans. To the Venezuelans that are demanding, Mr. Trump, my people yearn for freedom. And it's always like a 47 months subscriber in my chat. It's like, bro, have you been sleepwalking when I talk about like American intervention? Yeah. Like, how have you been in here giving me $5 a month for 42 months? And you're like, well, this time it's different.
I always think that like we get comments on episodes sometimes about like, I remember one comment that was like, it was our episode after the Butler, Pennsylvania shooting with Trump. And there's an extended segment of us like talking about Thomas Crooks. And I had a joke about how like, he was just so like gross and hapless looking that a sniper probably already had him in the crosshairs, just hoping that he would get to kill him. he got lucky. And a guy who'd been subscribing for like 6-7 years was like, do we really need to do this? And it's like, have you heard this show before? Like,
yeah.
Is this your first time listening in all these years of subscribing?
The most common thing for expats to support interventions is they won't be there to eat the bombs. Yeah, I just like, I don't understand it. I mean, I don't like the Turkish government. You know, I don't with Erdogan. I can't really go back to Turkey to see my family. But if America's trying to intervene, you bet your ass I'm gonna be like, absolutely not. You know? And by the way, this is not a hypothetical. I literally did talk about it when America did intervene and try to do a little coup with Fethullah Gulen. That was really like not ready for prime time. No, that was one of the shittiest. It's gotten worse now that they, I mean, think about Venezuela. It's objectively even worse than that because at least like with the Fethullah Gulen thing, they like built a parallel state that that bubbled up and had its tentacles and everything that was going on from the police force to the military commanders and shit like that. They utilized the existing American bases to do refueling for the jets that they were, you know, bombing people with. In Venezuela, they sent like private contractors, like a bunch of stupids. Yeah, no, they got intercepted by fishermen. It was the Bay of Stupids. Yeah, it was awesome. Great. But yeah, no, I'm not trying to cause a whole argument with this, but I was thinking about that, like, I'm a blah, blah, blah. I think that, like, this should happen. Yeah, yeah. Do you think, and there are a lot of Americans like this, like me, where, like, you know, one set of grandparents or parent, like, you're half Ukrainian Jewish, you know? Uh-huh. That's a lot of, like, Jews in America. If any of us were like, oh, yeah, well, I'm technically sort of Ukrainian, and I support the special military operation. Has anyone done that? Oh my God, that would be awesome. At the time, I thought about it, and I thought it would be like kind of too up to do, but it is just like for someone who like their family has not lived there in 140 years or something. Yeah, no. As a Ukrainian, like I think the special military operation is extra special. Yeah, and it's extra military, and it's good. Yeah. Has anyone done that? Like. Someone in chat said that they've seen someone try that move. Okay. I mean, it's America. We contain multitudes. There's cranks of all different kinds. The guy who said that, I'm going to guess his presidential election votes. Hillary 2016, Trump 2020, Trump 2024. Yeah. That's, and then he's going to vote for whatever Democrat this next time. Easy. Hogs of all flavors here. Yeah. Felix, one Ukrainian tried to blame me for NATO not joining that war, dude. I don't know what. Well, are you in charge of a NATO like, are you Joe Biden? Just change America for Israel and you get it, chat? No, because it doesn't even make sense. Because we're not talking about a foreign adversary that we're going to bomb. Because there is no world in which Israel gets the punishment that America has dished out to every unsuspecting country that we've declared foreign adversaries because we want their natural resources to extract at a cheaper price than the government would probably offer us anyway, okay? Because that's usually half the battle there. It's like, oh, well, we don't want to even give you an honest contract when we extract your resources. We want it for our price point, and we want to set the standards. America's not doing that to Tel Aviv. That's not happening. which is precisely the reason why, yes, you do have like the 11 anti-Zionist Jews that live in Israel that say like, no, we should actually apply pressure to Israel. There's no other way to deal with the psychopathic neighbors that I have, knowing full well that it's not going to turn into Tel Aviv's never going to turn into a crater, right? Unless, I guess, they piss off Iran too much, and then who knows, right? But so in that respect, it's different. It's not like a one-to-one comparison. Whereas when you talk about Venezuela as a Venezuelan and what must be done, and the what must be done is literally shock and awe style bombing campaigns in Caracas, like, it's not, you know, that's not going to create stability for Venezuelans at all. Like, even with Syria, which is, you know, who knows what happens in Syria. It's not exactly in a great state right now. That took years and years of hands-on intervention, espionage, training, offering logistics to different factions that split off and engaged in sectarian infighting, mass destabilization. That's even, like, we haven't done that in Venezuela, right?
Right. No. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we've funded opposition, but not to those lengths. And there wasn't like a civil, like an actual conflict to exploit and widen either.
Yeah, they're trying to do domino theory for like Cuba,
yeah,
which is so crazy. Like, as though Cuba is like this.
I don't even know if this. I mean, we're probably not going through this, at least now, to this scale, if Petro hadn't had won. At the heart of it, I do kind of think this is like them trying to beat back a potential pink tide.
Yeah. Adam Johnson says Trump openly said his motives for attacking Venezuela are to seize his oil, but recent explainers in WAPO political BBC pontificating about Trump's motives do not mention this fact at all. Yeah, it's so gross that they do it, and he's not even like fully invested in it. You know what I mean? His heart is not in it. They're not even trying to sell it.
I mean, you have to stretch really hard to make the case that like anything there has anything to do with anyone's life over here. That's why I have seen people try to push this like cartel of the sun shit for years and years now. God. And I mean, if the like impetus for war in any event is the country contains a consortium of drug dealers who sell to Americans. Well, I have some bad news about Israel. I have some bad news about a lot of places.
Yeah. Chat, Hannity just played a clip of Hasan on his show. Wait, really? Wait, what are they doing? I guess they're gonna keep going with the America Deserved 9/11 stuff and like tie it to Zoran post election, which is like even less motion now.
Yeah,
because didn't the election kind of prove that the people didn't give a shit about that? Like, why are you still pushing it? Also, why do I have so many chatters watching Newsmax and Sean Hannity?
Well, Sean Hannity did cry last night.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That made me feel sad. That it was a little bit. It's like seeing like your grandfather cry or something. I don't know. It just like felt wrong.
Where is it? It's here somewhere. It was on the docket earlier. Oh, did you see these guys?
Yeah.
I'm so glad. Michael Tracy is the perfect person to go to a Andrew Cuomo watch party, by the way. Mr. Contrarian. This guy's awesome.
Tracy lives in Skyrim. Like, he is. I see all of his videos through like a Skyrim filter. Like I see his hands poking out.
Hey Curtis, you're a scumbag like I said all these months. You got 8% of the vote. You split the vote for the $7 million. You were a scumbag. I hope every New Yorker spits in your face every single day.
So every New Yorker
fucking sold out like fucking
ever. Also, Curtis,
the majority of who voted for Zoran are like, that's for ruining Cuomo's campaign. Like,
no, my favorite on this is quite literally. Oh, Ted Cruz is talking about it. I wonder what he's gonna say because he was talking shit about me on the timeline earlier.
Gosh, this will be good politically because he'll be the face of the Democrat Party. I think it's terrible for America. I think New York is the largest city in America. It is the financial capital of the world. It is the media capital of the world. And New York, we are going to see New Yorkers die. This is a lunatic who wants to abolish the police.
As opposed to Andrew Cuomo, who did kill New Yorkers.
Yeah, like, Jesus Christ.
The radicals and the terrorists who chants, globalize the Intifada. This is someone who, in the days before the election, is campaigning with an
Eric Adams,
conspirator, of the World Trade Center bombing.
You know,
And
even
this
short
is
of
about to be the
making
mayor
a
of
deal
New
with the
York.
Trump
Witness.
DOJ, that would be like their ideal Democrat.
You say, you act like, oh, it was a blowout. Did you expect any different result? Because I didn't. I mean, I had a little hope in New Jersey, but, you know, in the last 3 years,
they're licking their wounds every night. I do like this.
Nearly 250,000 people, Senator. I would imagine
I don't like any of the
probably
other
the
guys
vast
on here,
majority of which would have voted for Jack
like
Ciattarelli. That's a lot of people to lose in 3 years.
I could see
going to your
myself
state and my
watching
state.
Oh, he just mentioned me? We didn't even hear it.
Look, and you're right. And if you have all the people from New Jersey who moved to Florida, moved to Texas, if they were still there, Jack Ciattarelli might have won. By the way, all the New Yorkers who moved out of New York and went to Florida and went to Texas, Lee Zeldin might well have been governor, or we might have seen Montgomery beaten. But people are fleeing blue states, so they're getting more radicals.
Oh,
You're
no,
also
he
seeing
didn't.
these
He's a
states
co-conspirator of
having
9/11.
Massive immigration. You look at the
You're
numbers.
such a
The
piece of shit.
native-born New Yorkers, the New Yorkers who had been there 5 years or longer,
Look, I was
voted against this lunatic. It is a massive in-migration. The Democrats
I was a kid.
are using
Showed a lot of promise,
demographics
but
to change this country.
that's a little bit beyond my pay
And look
grade,
at
you know,
Virginia,
pulling off 9/11 at 10.
Where the Attorney General candidate in writing said, number one, he wanted to see his Republican colleagues in the legislature murdered. But even worse than that, he wanted to see their children dead.
Like, people hate us so much that they were willing to vote for a guy who said he's going to shoot our children.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't be playing that
individual is now going to be the Attorney General in Virginia, the chief law enforcement
this reminds
officer.
me so much of, like,
and
when
what that tells us is a couple things.
Democrats
Number one,
would, like, make compilations of,
we're
like,
so
all the
polarized. That on the
stupid, funny
Democrat side,
jokes
they
that
don't
Trump has
care.
told.
No major Democrat denounced Jay Jones, despite his openly wishing for the murder of kids. Even in the wake of Charlie Kirk's murder, every Democrat circled around and said, he's our guy. We don't care if he's advocating political violence. But number two, look.
Dude, I cannot tell you how little the average person gives a about Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
They're like, how dare you? So close after Charlie Kirk died. And like, I don't even think Republicans care.
No.
Like, remember when they were like, oh, you just woke up a million Charlies? It's like, really?
Doesn't seem like it was enough.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean? Where are they at? I haven't seen a million debate nerds running around being like, debate me.
That was the thing. Like, after that whole, like, week, during it, really, I always thought, like, you kind of have to say it when someone on your side dies. Like, in death, they're a symbol for... 10 times out of 10, you're going to have more of an impact as an alive person. Hate to break it.
Yeah. Technically.
Hate to break
Technically, yes.
I mean, do I think that Charlie Kirk would have, like...
Charlie Kirk got domed, and then his main op that he was actively trying to push out of the party, like actively trying to push away from seizing his literal audience, is now taking over the mantle. It's the most insane situation of all time. This is the one thing that he didn't want to happen. Like, and, you know, even from my standard, even from where I'm standing, yeah, like I would prefer Charlie Kirk to Nick Fuentes. But the reality of the matter is, he is, in the immediate aftermath of his assassination, his worst fear for his entire career was immediately realized. It's crazy.
Oh, I thought this was...
It was still the show.
Wait, what is...
It was just an ad.
Oh. I thought it was... You remember that guy who ran
from.
against Lauren Boebert, I think?
Lobo? I don't know.
Brandon Flowers? What the f*** was that guy's name? Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
It's crazy, dude. Punished Dark Woke. They created 10 million Charlie Kirks, and now they're running around doing miscellaneous shit. Oh yeah, it's all the AI stuff. That's the other thing with AI. Like, people have no respect whatsoever for the dead. Like, they are. Have you seen like Charlie Kirk with syrup, like mixing up cough syrup? Like, they just keep putting his face on everything.
I've seen like more AI stuff of him than any other person.
It's all over the timeline. You looked insane last night. I think I would look fine if I was bald. Like, I think I would look like a handsome bald. I have a good head shape.
I don't think that like they would have won if Charlie Kirk were alive, but like, you know, he had something of an operation. That operation's still there, but he was like,
it's not gonna be Bry Lillen.
Bry Lillen is probably causing more people to stay home than come out.
Yeah. Well, here's Brett Cooper defending Nick Fuentes, I guess. Which I didn't know she was like that.
You are so blinded by your ridiculous, insane hatred of Tucker Carlson that you cannot see how irresponsible and hypocritical you are being. I mean, these tweets from Ted Cruz I'm going to read you next are a great example of this. So just a month ago, he tweeted this. He said, "They don't kill you because you're a Nazi. They call you a Nazi so they can kill you. Political violence is a left-wing phenomenon. Enough is enough. We need to shut it down." And then in response to Fuentes and Tucker this week, he tweeted this. "Trump's bombing of the Ayatollah's nuclear facilities made the little Nazi mad. Good." So now you're turning around and you're calling somebody that you don't like a Nazi. You're doing this out of blind rage because you're so angry that the conservative base's attitudes are rapidly.
That's not wrong, yeah.
I mean, yes, but also he is a Nazi. I think it's funny. I love that they're fighting. I don't give a shit. But like, he is literally like, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's over at this point. It's over. It's
only
over.
like, you know, 5% more than them at this point.
That's exactly. Thank you. Hey, you've seen the two, like the Venn diagram, Ben Shapiro, Nick Fuentes Venn diagram, where it's like they agree on 99%, except Ben Shapiro is Jewish and Nick Fuentes hates Jews. And that's pretty much it. Like, that is, like, you can't have like this endlessly expansive, unlimited reactionary movement and then turn around and be like, well, you know, there's one group of people we gotta be woke about, and it's the Jews, which is also historically the one group that the Nazis and right-wingers in general, reactionary movements historically, have blamed for everything. So, like, what the were you thinking?
I think it's more than possible to have like a generally like right-wing movement that isn't like Jews aren't there's no like animus against Jews. But I don't think it's possible to have one like built on racial animus and then to have not just like a carve out, but like sort of like
special status,
state enforced like DEI for Jews.
Yeah, no, you can't. Like that's
impossible.
It's
that's
unironically
impossible.
I'm telling you, if the UAE, it's kind of funny to think, had like a similar level of like a pervasive propaganda vehicle that had a domestic foothold and had like all these advocacy groups that were constantly trying to punish people and cancel people, yell at them for saying something about like Dubai chocolate or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's anti-UAE. That's anti-Arab.
Anti-Emirati.
Yeah, that's anti-Emirati behavior. And they were like successfully banning people. A lot more Americans will be up in arms about Sudan.
Yeah.
Like 100%. They'd be like, immediately we have to put an end to this. Like, they get away with it partially also because they just don't do what Israel has done. But that's also the same reason why they don't get the same level of money that Israel gets or the same level of protection that Israel gets. And at most, America turns a blind eye to your fuck behavior, right? Especially as long as you are pro-Israel.
What if you got kicked out of your university for using the term collegiate? Like, yeah, then it's a totally different environment.
Yeah, people will be like, no, I'm gonna like, which maybe they'll do because now you see Saudi Arabia kind of pivoting to the woke side of things a little bit. Well, can you imagine? Like,
that's interesting because Saudi Arabia, they're getting more woke.
Yeah,
but the UAE, they've decided to like throw their lot in. Of course, Emiratis would go, you know what has legs? This thing where you're really right wing, except for Jews.
Yeah.
They're like, that has the best future out of any of this.
Yeah.
Every time now, like.
I love seeing like Emirati accounts that just like, they post like the son of Hamas guy.
Yeah, no.
Like they're one step removed from being like the Arab is lower than cattle.
I think
Muslims are worse than dogs, actually.
Yeah.
And the highest priority is for Jewish people in the region. We love that.
I think that like Indians like get a bad rep because like, yeah, there are some like BJP. I mean, there are a lot of people in BJP and a lot of people in BJP who like support Israel specifically for like anti-Islam reasons.
Yeah.
But like by and large, like it's not like every Indian or every Hindu for that matter is like a fervent Zionist.
Yeah. UAE is the strongest advocates.
Yeah, like every time I see an Emirati flag now, it's followed by like one of the worst things I'll read about Palestinians that day. Like there's psychotic stuff coming out of that.
Yeah.
Changing that Nick Fuentes is getting national attention, and so you have turned around and in response, you are compromising your own values and anger, which is such a dangerous precedent to set. And unfortunately for you guys, yes, the attitudes are changing. So again, it makes sense why this group is incredibly frantic.
I mean, yeah, no, it does feel like the independent wing is just seeing the wave of anti-Israel sentiment, and especially on the right, it manifests as like very clearly in an anti-Semitic fashion, because it's virtually impossible after however many decades of just being like, everything that is being done here is being done for the Jews. We're doing it for the Jews. We're killing all the Palestinians for the Jews. It's Judaism. And if you speak out against it, you're anti-Semitic. Americans are not going to think in a more complicated manner than what they've been bludgeoned in the head with.
And it's the perfect thing for them, because like that totally exonerates America.
Dude, that's what I'm so annoyed. Thank you. Exactly. That's what makes me so mad. It's like, oh yeah, our politicians actually would never do wholesale slaughter of Muslims in the region if it wasn't for the Jews that are hypnotizing them or engaging in blackmail, which by the way still means your favorite politician, Christian politician, is a okay. Yeah. Like what do you mean?
Yeah, no, I mean those texts, the Kirk text about like the $2 billion in Tucker, that was not a guy who was like, his heart was moved by images.
Yeah, no, he's a piece of shit.
That was, I mean, just in 2023, at the end of 2023, when he made that joke about, oh, well, they say they get thrown off of buildings, but now all the buildings are gone.
Yeah.
His stated goal, his political reason to be was to attract young people to the party. And this one thing was making it harder than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think those texts are so funny because it's like, yeah, this was such a principled guy.
Yeah.
They're not going to give me $2 million? Oh my, like, if it's between like $2 million and like something you believe in, okay, well, it's cool to have $2 million, but it shouldn't be, if you really believe in it, it shouldn't be that hard of a choice for you.
Yeah, that, but also like, yeah, the envoys of Israel are unimaginably arrogant and unimaginably entitled. And how many like insider articles that we read or books that we read about like Bill Clinton being like, who's the superpower here? And then doing literally the bidding of Israel regardless, lying on behalf of Israel throughout the negotiations process and totally destroying the so-called peace process in its entirety at the behest of Israel. But yeah, they hated the Israeli envoys. They hated Benjamin Netanyahu, but that doesn't change anything. So Charlie Kirk experiencing that exact same emotion was not going to change his public persona or his public positioning on Israel even one bit. And the only reason why he was trying to even find a middle of the road approach here was because he wants everyone to be pro-Israel. He's number one, first and foremost, or no, not pro-Israel, sorry. He wants everyone to be pro-Trump. And first and foremost, he's loyal to Trump. And Trump is the biggest dick rider of Israel. So how the do you come out and speak out against Trump? That was never going to happen.
Right. Right.
Like if Trump turned around and was like, Israel, actually, Miriam, thank you for the $250 million. I'm done with this shit. Then yeah, the next day they would be like, yeah, let's put Jews in concentration camps. And everyone would be fine with it. Like all the Republicans would be down with it. But as long as Trump is dick riding Israel, Charlie Kirk was never going to turn around and speak out against it.
Kirk would dip his toes and stuff.
Yeah.
He would like entertain like, you know, some of the stranger things that surrounded October 7th. But at the end of the day, you don't go from haha, all the buildings in Gaza are gone to whatever he was hinting at instantaneously and because out of the goodness of your heart.
Yeah. No, he was yeah. The only reason why he was even trying to triangulate is because he wanted to manage the audience. He was trying to do a coalition building without compromising too much on the pro-Israel position that the Trump administration was engaging in. One of the like, I think it was Dinesh D'Souza actually that came out with this take, and I agree with it completely, where it was like the Republican Jewish Coalition or whatever, the thing that happened this past weekend. And Dinesh D'Souza retweeted it and was like, you know, a lot of these guys are actually shitting on Trump. They're just too afraid to say it. Like, everything that you say about Israel, you are saying about Trump. Everything that you say about rhinos, you are technically saying about Trump, because he's just as pro-Israel as everybody else is, if not more pro-Israel. They just don't want to say it to Trump. And it's true.
That's always the weirdest thing about, like, the Ian Carrolls.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to straddle that line. I mean, you can straddle that line because there are, like, enough people who want to hold these two totally contradictory things in their head. Which, like you said, okay, if Trump is being blackmailed, then what the fuck did he do?
He was a white hat. You don't understand.
God.
That's what he was doing.
Mike Johnson said that once.
That was so awesome.
And then it never came up again.
That was so awesome that he just dropped that bomb. Like, something that we joked about for years, like turning into a real defense line, you know? Yeah. A lot of the anti-Israel, anti-Jewish invective on the right is disguised attack on Trump. By the way, Dinesh D'Souza is getting woke because he's sick and tired of the anti-Indian sentiment on the right. Did you see all this stuff?
No, yeah, I mean...
He's like, how did this happen to the party?
Yeah. It is like, yeah. Like, how did the most predictable thing in the world happen?
But it was happening. It was happening to the party while he was still in the party, and he still is. But, like, it's not like this is new. I guess it's gotten worse on Twitter, the anti-Indian hate specifically.
Right.
But
well, I mean, I think with like guys like Dinesh specifically, you do have to keep in mind that they are all like 65. To him, like 2004 was like yesterday. 2012 for that matter.
Here's a lot of the anti-Israel, anti-Jewish invective on the right is a disguised attack on Trump. Trump is the one who blew up the Iran nukes. Trump backed Netanyahu and as Israel crippled Hamas. Trump is redrawing the map of the Middle East, but they're afraid to go against Trump, which is true.
I think he's kind of, yeah.
Oh, yeah. r/Democrats banned mentions of Mamdani. Did you see that? It's so awesome. r/Democrats. Respect. Keep defending the party like that. I agree. Finally. There are some deep fissures on the right about Zionism, says G here. There have been for a long time, since 1967. They were papered over in the interest of coalition unity. But under the pressures of the current conflict, these fissures are reemerging. The long quoted passage here is useful to understand some of the sources of right-wing anti-Zionism, which is very distinct from left-wing anti-Zionism.
You know, Dick Durbin in Illinois, the guy he beat for him to become a senator was one of the last anti-Israel Republicans. Not even anti-Israel, like just, you know, skeptical of lobby claims. I mean, I think he would get called anti-Israel now and then, but no, they're.
Oh, there's a generational divide? No way, no way. Every Republican under the age of 35 is a young Hitlerian. That's so shocking. They're not even. They've moved beyond Hitler too. They're so nerdy about their Nazism that they had to find like esoteric shit, you know, which I guess the Nazis were also into.
Who's the coolest figure to be into then? Like Celine?
Well, there's the Japanese fascist, the gay one that everybody loves.
Mishima.
Yeah.
No, I think that's it. It's always going to be like someone who's a cultural figure.
Yeah.
And not like Celine.
Or Franco's so novel. Funny. They're like
Franco is hilarious. Franco wasn't supposed to be the guy.
Yeah. But why not Mussolini? You think it's because he's like, they think he's too woke? Like,
I mean, he did kind of like lose control of like most of his country,
yeah.
You know? I don't know. And he looks kind of ridiculous, you know? No, I think among younger people, it's cultural figures. Celine, Ezra Pound, et cetera. But, I mean, the aspect of Nazism where you're always going to the North Pole to find Santa.
Yeah, they love Ebola. They love Ebola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Franco, so the guy that was supposed to be in charge of the Phalangists, he was flying from exile back into Spain right as the Civil War was beginning. And this was like, you know, airplanes had only been around so long. And they were like, hey, General, you mind not packing so many outfits? Because we don't know how... We might be going over this plane's weight limit. And he was like, you, I need all my outfits. And the plane crashed. He dies. And so then they put Franco in there. This guy who was like never supposed to be the number one.
Those are the best guys. Heritage staff meeting exposed something of a generational divide within Heritage, as one staffer who claimed to represent the perspective of the foundation's younger employees said that she did not have a problem with Robert's initial defense of Carlson and wanted to make sure that the views of her generation, who she said were generally more critical of Israel, would still be welcome at Heritage. Eliana's right, and the Q&A is a very much worth the listen. Here's a snippet of some of the remarks from the young female staffer. I condemn Nick Fuentes' hateful rhetoric. That being said, I would like to point out that some of the most vocal people against Tucker Carlson have been calling him an anti-Semite since he started to hold more anti-interventionist views. Yeah, the only difference between Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes is Tucker Carlson has like 20 years of media experience, and especially from like the professional side of media, and therefore knows what buttons to never touch. Like, that's it. He has tremendous messaging discipline. Like, Nick Fuentes, on the other hand, he's a memer. He's on the internet. He's more freewheeling. You know what I mean? He doesn't give a shit, and he can't stop himself from...
And Tucker started as a neocon.
Yeah. Yeah,
that was true. Like the first half of his career.
Yeah. I mean, there's the video of him. I watched a video of him shitting on Pat Buchanan.
Yeah.
Literally using the same exact rhetoric that they're using against Tucker Carlson now. Like,
yeah. No.
Actually, you know what? Does anyone have that old Tucker Carlson video? It's a really good one. I want to show you guys. For those of you who don't know, Pat Buchanan is basically, I guess, like, if you're a right-winger, you feel like he's the most vindicated man, you know?
He is, like, they talk about him like how I talk about, like, Corbyn.
Yeah.
I'll always talk about Corbyn.
Yeah. Both vicious anti-Semites, of course. Yeah. That's why Felix likes Corbyn.
Pat Buchanan, he had a show with Donahue on MSNBC where it was supposed to be like a Hannity and Combs knockoff because Donahue was a big liberal. But they canceled the show because both him and Donahue were against the Iraq War.
Yeah, Sam Cedar told me he would go on Pat Buchanan's show because it was the only show where that he could say something anti-Israel, and Pat Buchanan would just have him on because he's like, yeah, that was the only time where I could say anything remotely anti-Israel on television at the time.
I remember that. I remember like the late Bush administration PaleoCon Renaissance.
Look.
The sad thing about Pat Buchanan, as far as I'm concerned, and just to restate, I mean, Pat does raise issues that I think are important. I mean, I think that, the sovereignty of the American...
He's doing Brylan Holland, by the way.
He is so Brylan.
He is so Brylan here. Like, oh, you can criticize Israel's, lobby if you would like to.
I actually think these issues are important.
Yeah. Yeah, but don't do it too much. Otherwise, it might be anti-Semitic.
Oh my God, yeah, he is.
But unfortunately,
I mean, he's the reason that we associate both sides
discredited. And when attacked, he can always fall back on the line. Well, the tiny cabal that controls American politics doesn't like me because I speak truth to power. This is actually, incidentally, almost verbatim what he said the other day. That I offend the plutocracy, that I'm a wanted man by the inside the Beltway people, and in every sense cast himself as a victim who is sort of a Karen Silkwood of politics, someone who's so truthful that he's being hunted down by the conspiracy that runs Washington. I mean, it's all a bit much. Maybe Pat Buchanan just says things that are kind of kooky, and that's why he's being criticized. It's perfectly valid to question America's relationship with Israel. Israel has a lobby. It's perfectly fair, as far as I'm concerned, to beat up on Israel's lobby. But I don't think that's the reason that Buchanan is being labeled an anti-Semite. It's this kind of, as I've said, this relentless bringing up topics related to Judaism. I mean, famously, Pat, always beats up on Goldman Sachs, but never Morgan Stanley. I mean, it's really hard to. There is no point at which Pat Buchanan has held a press conference and said, I really don't like the Jews. I think they're a sinister force in America. But I think, and it took me years to come to this.
I love that.
To this position. I mean, I'm not throwing the term anti-Semite around. But you
I
reach a
wonder
point
what,
when you say, well, gee, here's a guy
inspired
who
him to
is going out of it.
Go from like to like who's jacking off to this, like the more traditional TV guy.
Yeah. What's going on?
Did someone jack me off? Why was I?
Wait, Kevin Roberts hit a third statement? No. Oh my God, bro.
Keep digging. Dig up, stupid.
The boss call after boss call, man.
Oh my God.
Kevin, God damn.
His way to defend Demjanjuk and other accused Nazi war criminals who's constantly attacked Israel, who's attacked American Jews for supporting Israel unduly, who's implied that American Jews push America into wars in which non-Jews die. There really is, and again, I'm not hysterical on this subject, but I do believe that there is a pattern with Pat Buchanan of needling the Jews. Is that anti-Semitic? Yeah. I mean, after a while, you conclude it is, in some sense, anti-Semitic. I mean, Pat Buchanan obviously has a lot of personal and affectionate relationships with people who are Jewish. So on a personal level, perhaps he's not, but on a different, maybe thematic level, I think he probably is. I think that people should be allowed to have differing views on immigration. I think people should be allowed to point out the fact that there is an Israeli lobby, and yes, it's powerful, and debate the merits of that, I guess. I don't think there's strictly speaking anything wrong with that. But
come on, you have some conversations, but not too much. Not too much.
God,
I think
the Weekly Standard was
Buchanan is part of the reason it's so hard to have
that
a
was
conversation
where Fred
because he
Barnes
discredits
worked.
it by his.
It was like the epicenter of like shithead neoconservatism. It's really amazing how much like Tucker skated away from that. But I guess no one really Trump was a big rock war booster. I don't think you could ideologically call Trump a neocon just because it's too ideologically like defined for him, but Tucker absolutely was.
Yeah.
Until
bombing
sort of recently.
Bombing Iraq back into rubble, they're primitive, they're apes, all that stuff. I mean, he went along with he did a little ride along with the military down there.
Oh yeah, that famous article where it's like him and Al Sharpton.
Yeah.
By his presence, because he gives people who watch him carefully the sense that he has another agenda that has to do with personal dislike, and that he believes in conspiracies, and that he believes that the Jews are this sinister, secretly organized force trying to affect American politics. And those aren't discussions I think normal people, sober people should be having, because I think
unless it's me 20 years later and I'm saying the exact same thing that I was criticizing back then.
I mean, the popular knowledge or the conventional knowledge is now, right, that like the Tucker Today was created when like Jon Stewart went on that show and like shit on him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes about as much sense as anything. Where is he now if that never happens, though? Because I tend to think that Tucker...
You think that saved his career?
Maybe. But I also think that a guy like that is just such a, like, gamer. You know, they're so ready to, like, rebrand and just toss it all aside. I think he probably would have done it anyway, or gone for it anyway.
All right, let's see. Kevin Roberts, who heads up the Heritage Foundation and Heritage Action, has now released his third public statement on his disastrous video last week. The most recent statement is going to continue to dissatisfy many of the people who criticized him for his first video, and it's also going to firmly turn Nick Fuentes and his supporters against him. This whole saga has been a major unforced error. Is such a funny thing for Yashar Ali to say, by the way. Like he's making it seem like, you shouldn't have said anything. You should just kept the coalition going. Like Yashar Ali, big defender of keeping the right-wing coalition between Nazis intact. I know that's not what he's trying to say, but this is what it comes across as. Oh God, I love watching right-wing infighting though. It's awesome.
Both as president of the Heritage Foundation and also as an American who understands the urgency of this moment. Leadership requires owning the moments where we fall short, then using them to reset, refocus, and recommit. I talked about this today, as you may have seen, during our Heritage All-Staff Town Hall. I'm so grateful for my amazing colleagues. My use of the phrase venomous coalition was a terrible choice of words.
I'm hungry.
It caused justified concern, especially among friends and allies who know how seriously Heritage has fought and continues to fight against the rise of anti-Semitism. Everyone has the responsibility to speak up against the scourge of anti-Semitism, no matter the messenger. Heritage and I will do so.
This is not what
even
the
when
head
my
of the
friend
Heritage
Tucker
Foundation
Carlson
should look like.
is
I'm
challenged.
sorry.
I think he looks awesome.
He looks like a D-testosterone version of that You know that car salesman guy that comes in and like yells at guys who sell cars?
Yes.
Like that.
Who's like, yeah, I f my wife all the time. You have to be skinny.
Yeah.
If you're not svelte, get the f out of my car lot.
You only have to spend 3 minutes a day with your kids. Like, this is not an inspiring looking. Like, this looks like a personal injury attorney. The head of the Heritage Foundation should be like classic evil looking guy. This is more modern. Not even evil, just amoral looking.
He looks boring.
He looks low rent.
Heritage colleagues know, as do you, the work ahead is too important. Our conservative movement must be willing to wrestle with hard conversations, not avoid them. Last night's election results demonstrate this. The need of this moment is clear.
That's so funny because it's like not a single Democrat cast a single ballot because the Republicans are too Nazi aligned, okay? That's not even remotely the conversation.
I mean, they might as well just be like, okay, we hear you. More air traffic fatalities. Like, that's basic.
Yeah. Literally everything is falling apart, and these guys are like, oh, I don't know, what do we do? Should we just keep this one gay Mexican white supremacist guy and his army of autists on our side? They're in our replies too hard. Oh, it's awesome. Oh, it's funny.
Articulate a bold, positive vision that convinces Americans that conservative policies will revitalize the American dream. The left isn't slowing down. If we want to win, truly win, we must grow stronger in every way. Here is what we are focused on moving forward. Standing for strong families, because no society...
Abolishing air traffic control.
I love standing for strong families too, because it's like that's almost like a child of a middle-class family.
Yeah.
Like, what about the weak families?
Yeah, no.
Them.
No, this is their small. I'm a small business.
Yeah, no, they're Kamala mode right now.
Yeah, this is so awesome. I love standing for strong families.
He survives without them. Advocating for the dignity of work and free enterprise, because it's how people build meaning and sustain freedom. Defending national sovereignty, because a country that doesn't protect itself isn't a country. And restoring citizenship as a sacred trust, rooted in virtue, liberty, and faith. It's not just policy, it's purpose. So to each of you working the long hours, holding the line, doing the unglamorous tasks that keep this mission moving, I see you. I'm grateful, and I want you to know we're in this together. Movements like ours are not weakened by adversity. We are sharpened by it. Let's take what we've learned. Let's recommit. And by all means, let's go win.
Bro, he said nothing. What? I don't get it. So do they want groypers or not? Did I miss the beginning? He didn't say shit.
Today, as you may have seen, during our Heritage All-Staff Town Hall. I'm so grateful for my amazing colleagues. My use of the phrase venomous coalition was a terrible choice of words.
Oh!
It caused justified concern, especially among friends and allies who know how seriously heritage...
Wait, he's bowing down. He's saying, like, my bad. I'm sorry for saying it's venomous coalition, actually. We love the groypers.
...has fought and continues to fight against the rise of anti-Semitism. Everyone has the responsibility to speak up against the scourge of anti-Semitism, no matter the messenger. Heritage and I will do so, even when my friend Tucker Carlson needs challenging. My Heritage colleagues know, as do you, the work ahead is too important. Our conservative movement must be willing to...
Wait, he's saying sorry for saying the groypers are venomous, but then he's also saying we're going to keep fighting anti-Semitism. So what is it? Color grading on this video is fantastic, though. That's wrong. He's saying he's sorry for calling those accusing Tucker of anti-Semitism a venomous... Oh, that's what he did? Oh, he didn't call the groypers venomous. He called the people calling Tucker Carlson an anti-Semite venomous. And that's who he was apologizing for. Yeah, I mean, I think at this stage it's still, if Israel loses the right, they're over. I don't think they're losing the right anytime soon. Because who do they have? The Democrats are already too weak, and the base of the Democrats are insanely anti-Israel, right? If chatters send me one more libs of TikTok post claiming Zoran is a Nazi, I'm gonna nuke myself out of orbit. Okay, please stop. I don't give a Libs of TikTok is a Nazi. I don't care about her being like, oh, look, Zoran is a Nazi. He's doing the same salute that Elon did. Like, and then you look at the actual thing, the actual video, and it's not the same at all. It's just a dude waving. Oh, that's so funny. Like, they really got him.
She really fell off.
Yeah. It's because, I mean, low-key, it is because, like, she's also Jewish. And everyone on the independent side is like constantly demanding more. And when you demand more and more and more, eventually the demands turn into give us something anti-Semitic.
I mean, also, like, she's Chabad.
Yeah.
Which is like...
She might as well give up at this point. Come on.
Like,
She's Chabad and 36 and single.
I think the beginning and the end for her was when she posted like those Navy guys who were like wearing dresses. It was like, let's get them fired. Because it really, she like did, it's like, you don't know what's going on, lady.
Yeah. All right. But mother is being attacked by Matt Walsh. Oh. This is the enemy. Wretched, evil parasite, motivated by resentment and hatred, openly plotting to erase our culture and identity. Shut the up.
Wretched, like, parasite? Like, what the
yeah, because Jennifer Wells said,
Jennifer
Americans have no
Welch?
culture except for multiculturalism. Crusty white people need to learn how to embrace it. She's literally whiter than Matt Walsh. Like, what are you talking about? This is strong wasp stock. Matt Walsh. People that look like Jennifer Welsh would kill you when the nation was being founded for your disgusting, backwards Catholic ways. Okay?
Jennifer Welch, that is a Mayflower person.
Yeah, she is. Look, that is a wasp to the bone. Okay.
I mean that is something. I think Ed Germana might have been the first to point this out. How like this stupid term like heritage American, which I've seen
legacy American
or legacy American.
Tucker invented that, I think.
I've seen it like more loosely defined as like people whose like your grandfathers fought in World War II.
Yeah.
Which, okay, but
I'm cooked.
If you're going super hardcore and it's like anyone after like 1830, like you, all those Mayflower people, all those pre-1830 people, they're super lived up.
Yeah.
Anyone who like they can trace back their ancestors who fought in the American Revolution, they are like they are J. Jones voters. They're rocking with J. Jones.
Yeah. And I do feel like, I mean, didn't they also despise Catholics as well? Like, wasn't there like a holdover resentment towards Catholics early on? I mean, not to the same degree as like it was in Europe, of course, but
among a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Matt Walsh, Islam was more accepted. You. Yeah.
It really was like that.
We are building a new coalition as a pro-Muslim, pro-everybody except Catholicism.
They really like Thomas Jefferson was like the biggest weeb for Islam, but there were a few of them.